This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the sole survivor of a car crash which killed 5 Timaru teens pleads guilty to dangerous driving causing death. The world-famous Dunedin study, following more than 1,000 people, marks its 50th birthday. And an Invercargill bakery heads to 24-hour production with a very long new oven. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. The sole survivor of an horrific car crash which killed 5 teenage boys has pleaded guilty to 5 charges of dangerous driving causing death. But the father of one of the boys killed in the Timaru crash says he's struggling to find any sympathy for the young driver.
This is the aftermath of a major crash just outside Timaru in August last year, which killed 5 teenagers. Driver Tyrese Fleming survived the crash, pleading guilty today in the Timaru High Court to 5 counts of dangerous driving causing death. That plea still doing little to reduce the pain for one of the grieving fathers.
But at the end of the day, you drink alcohol and put your keys in the ignition and drive. Why should somebody feel sorry for him when he's taking your kid's life?
15-year-olds Javani Drummond, Nico Hill, Andrew Goodyear and 16-year-olds Jack Wallace and Joseph McCarthy were all killed when the Nissan Bluebird they were travelling in smashed into a concrete power pole on August 6th last year. Stephen Drummond, the father of Javani, says it's been a struggle and is much he can't control.
I can't do much about it until, like, the whole system is a court system, and until it's at the end I haven't got no say in any of the matters. And it's hard work, but at the end of the day, being here is not going to help me because it's not going to bring my son back. It's just to finish off the bits what's missing. The
impact sliced the Nissan Bluebird in half, police describing the crash as one of the worst seen on South Island roads in decades. 19-year-old Tyrese Fleming suffered just moderate injuries in the crash. He was initially charged with 5 counts of manslaughter last year, before pleading guilty to the reduced charges of dangerous driving causing death. In Timaru, The South Today.
A Southland farmer and son who were reported missing in Fiordland have been located safe and well. 49-year-old Alan Mortimer and his 14-year-old son Danny were spotted by Otago Daily Times reporter Louise Durown around lunchtime coming across the pier on a remote road. The Invercargill-based reporter had been on the story of the missing pair after they failed to return from a hunt near Lake Hiroko on Saturday night. G-Round found the pair on Lilyburn Valley Road, about 2 kilometres from the dock campsite where a major search operation was being run from. They told her they'd survived by drinking water from a creek and eating bars and fruit from their bags. The teenager had twisted his ankle and Father Alan had become disorientated, but they were otherwise in good condition. Both men were being flown to Southland Hospital to be checked out. In 1972, a group of medical researchers began measuring the health of newborn babies in what is now known as the Dunedin study. The ongoing research is helping people better understand the process of growing up, with nearly all of the original study group still taking part.
Celebrating 50 years of research and results. It's half a century since a team began studying the health and development of 1,000 babies born at Dunedin's Queen Mary Maternity Hospital. Now branded as the Dunedin Study, the group are measured and interviewed every 6 years about their health and well-being. Professor Richie Poulton took over as study director more than 20 years ago and says it's been the most successful investigation of its kind in the world, thanks to the participation of those involved.
We've maintained the cohort pretty much intact. After 5 decades, 94% of those still living participating.
The Dunedin study has helped produce more than 1,000 scientific articles worldwide. Findings include that children exposed to high levels of lead from cars in the 1970s and 80s produced a slight but measurable loss of intelligence once they were adults.
We've shed light on all manner of questions about why people age the way they do and why they end up having challenges and difficulties in life, why they do well educationally or not so well.
Polton's humbled by the willingness of the study's participants to return every 6 years to have their personal health and well-being assessed in great detail.
I would like to explicitly acknowledge the real heroes of the enterprise, which are the study members, their families and their friends, who continue to commit to us for such a long period of time, in the hope, and this is why they do it, in the hope that they will help others after we write up the research and present the findings.
It's estimated on average the Dunedin study helps produce a scholarly research article every 2 weeks. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Southern District Health Board Chief Executive Chris Fleming has made a surprise announcement this afternoon, saying he's resigned from the role. He says he's stepping down to pursue new business opportunities with his family. Fleming will finish up with the Southern DHB at the end of June after 30 years in the health sector, including 15 leading 3 different district health boards. Chairman Pete Hodgson says the board was grateful for Mr Fleming's efforts in leading the organisation over the past 6 years. Police were called to an incident involving a fallen tree in Invercargill this afternoon. Police say they responded to an incident in Avon Road just south of Invercargill about 1:30 p.m. Fire and Emergency New Zealand say the incident involved a tree and have referred further questions to police. Police, fire crews and St John were all present. A popular Invercargill bakery is hoping a new oven being installed this month will help it increase production of its tasty bakery products in the south. A family-owned Invercargill bakery is expanding its operations with a giant 10-metre oven, which will allow their production to continue 24 hours. Kay's Bakery began in 1978 with a staff of 5 and has grown steadily over the years. They're now a firm fixture on Invercargill's Onslow Street, employing 40 staff and producing more than 30,000 bakery products each day. The business is expecting the new extra-long 10.5-metre oven will help them produce over 230 kilos worth of baked products an hour. The oven was built and designed in Auckland in modules and shipped to Invercargill to be constructed on site. Manager Luella Peniel says the new oven will allow them to relegate the manual workload at the bakery to daytime hours. In Invercargill, The South Today. Whai Yakane, still to come on The South Today. Church service is no more for an historic site near Gore, and it was eyes to the skies for an 85th celebration at the weekend.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Oh there, guess who? Do you recognise the eyes? Oh okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, we're a concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including Little Bobs.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Hear ye, hear ye. My mate John's declared himself the king of Stafford Street. His first order of business, banish high prices. Get down to the kingdom of John this weekend. There's 30% off bookcases and buffets, 33% off selected lounge, 15% off sofa beds and chaises, and 50% off outdoor furniture.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
A celebrity has just arrived. His name is Sirocco, and he's an important member of the government. The ambassador is chauffeur-driven. It's a 60-minute drive to his 5-star high-security accommodation, where he can finally drop his guard. Meet His Excellency. Not human, but parrot.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Well, it was a sad day for congregation members at the Pukeroa Presbyterian Church as they held their last service in the historic building. Now 127 years old, the building near Gore was one of 3 Presbyterian churches in the surrounding area.
A final hymn for a country church. Christian worship came to an end at the Pukeroa Presbyterian Church near Gore on Sunday. Built in 1895, the weatherboard building was later roughcast and served the Pukeroa Waikaka Valley community for over a century. But Session Clerk Alistair Price says it's now surplus to requirements.
We're having the service here today is that this church has been in operation for 127 years, but now we have 3 churches in the parish. This one is needing some repairs. We have a smaller congregation.
About 120 people attended a decommissioning service for the land and building. One historic item in the church is a crocheted cloth donated by Lady Grace Todd. She and her husband Sir Garfield Todd worked as missionaries in Rhodesia. Originally from Invercargill, Sir Garfield later became Rhodesia's Prime Minister, and he was an opponent to the country's white minority rule. The Pukeroa congregation's expected to move to one of the 2 other Presbyterian churches in the area.
Although it's been a sad day today, we've chosen to move on to one of the other churches in the parish, perhaps on a more of a full-time basis, and still minister to the whole of the area that we are currently doing so.
The church and the almost 2 hectares of surrounding land are set to be sold. In Pukeroa, the South Today.
It was eyes to the skies at the weekend as the Royal New Zealand Air Force marked their 85th anniversary with a series of flyovers across the country. The classic piston-powered aircraft thundered over a number of towns and cities, entertaining anyone who was enjoying the outdoors.
The Royal New Zealand Air Force celebrated its proud 85-year history in style over the weekend. 2 World War II aircraft, a Spitfire and Grumman Avenger, were joined by 2 RNZAF Texan trainers to perform a series of flypasts over major towns and cities.
The Avenger's the slowest, but it still gets along well. We were cruising down today at 180 knots, which is comfortable for the entire formation.
The Heritage Flight is a collaboration between the Air Force and civil organisations to commemorate and sustain the memory of New Zealand's military aviation heritage. Flight Commander of the Heritage Flight, Squadron Leader Michael Williams, says the new unit is aiming to bring a sense of pride and respect to their flying displays, while honouring those who originally flew the aircraft in World War II.
The Heritage Flight itself is a new unit that we've stood up. Today we've brought the Avenger and the Spitfire down, and we've got a display team that we're using for today, and that has the addition of 2 Texans as well.
He says flying formation with legendary aircraft flown by Kiwis in World War II was a dream moment for him.
It's a real pinch yourself moment. Flying the Texan is great fun, but to look out the window and see an Avenger and a Spitfire is amazing.
The anniversary was also marked by other RNZAF aircraft around New Zealand. In Christchurch, the South Today.
A Christchurch event organiser has taken a unique approach to feeding those in need. Nyron Stanton has developed a large group of friends after providing meals for groups of homeless people and others once a week in the central city.
Hot meals for those in need.
Are you hungry? Do you want some food? It's free.
It's a call from Nyron Stanton to anybody passing his spot in Latimer Square most Thursdays. He's the son of Kevin Stanton, guitarist and songwriter from the 70s band My Sex. And helping those in need is something that's been a long passion for Nyron since his early days in Sydney. Now working as an event organiser in Christchurch, he says the idea to feed those in need came to him a few months ago while he was out of work.
And because of COVID, I was wondering what to do with my skills and my organising skills. And so I decided, well, you know, I have an interest in the homeless feed and streeties and low-income feeds because of what I used to do when I was a child. I used to go around at 7 years old and I used to have money and I used to go into caves in Bellevue Park in Sydney and feed homeless people, and I used to get money from all kinds of places to do that. And so this is kind of a manifestation of that when I've got nothing to do.
He raised enough to start his idea, initially handing out packets of fish and chips, and later found groups of homeless people waiting for him in Latimer Square each week. They would all sit down together and share their stories, something he found very cool. Now he's getting food truck owners on board and helping them to provide free hot meals for those in need, paid for by the money he's raised. Food trailer owner, chef Tracy Cashin, says she enjoys the experience of helping others.
They come and go. You know, they come and sit and have something to eat, fill their bellies, and then off they go.
He's planning to stay in Latimer Square, but is open to donations from people and businesses who support the mission. He'd also like to make those Thursday events more social, bringing in musicians to entertain those looking for more social interaction. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Whai Yakane. After the break on the South Today, the snow farm near Wanaka is expanding, and we'll take a look at the weather in your neck of the woods.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Passion,
drama, competition, rivalry, marketing, numbers,
atmosphere,
power, fight, attack,
intuition,
love, hate, money, cash, millionaires,
fans,
and fans. Oh boy.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Hear ye, hear ye. My mate John's declared himself the King of Stafford Street. His first order of business, banish high prices.
And my mate John.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Well, there's a new addition being made to the snow farm near Wanaka with a new 36-bunk facility being built high up in the hills. The area is designed for outdoor education and is guaranteed to keep school pupils away from their mobile phones because there's no reception there.
The snow farm is getting a new building. This 36-bunk hut is being built on the Pisa Range near Wanaka in response to a growing demand to accommodate school groups. Snow Farm Trust Chairman Q Belk says the area is ideal for alpine education, and the remote location has one big advantage for modern pupils. They're more likely to pay attention to lessons because there's no reception for their smartphones.
This is a great teaching area, both for teaching Nordic skiing, alpine ecology, weather, snow dynamics, snow caving, a whole variety of things. Part of the reason the teachers like it now is that the students get off their phone because there's no reception.
The new lodge is just part of a larger development of the alpine area that's been envisaged by the family who originally farmed these tussock-covered hills. John Lee is now in his late 80s and his wife Mary is delighted to see the first stage of the development nearing completion.
It was John's idea to develop an alpine area, a Nordic area and a village in the middle. And he's been able to achieve eventually all these things. The village is still happening.
Over the winter months, the snow farm's a popular destination for Nordic cross-country skiing. But when the snow's gone over summer, it's easy to see how delicate the landscape is. To help preserve the area, volunteers transplanted a number of alpine plants when development began.
This overall, everything here is pretty fragile. You've got tussocks, you've got speargrass, and in terms of animals, you have some species of alpine lizards. It's been proven at Cadrona. Here, we think they're lizards. It's lizard habitat. We had to preserve the lizard habitat when we put the hut in and the roading.
The new hut's being built by Breen Construction and is on track to open for guests by mid-July. Near Wanaka, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The sole survivor of a car crash which killed 5 teenage boys in Timaru has pleaded guilty to 5 charges of dangerous driving causing death. The world-famous Dunedin study, which has followed more than 1,000 people since 1972, marks its 50th birthday with plans to continue the work. And Kay's Bakery in Invercargill heats up a very long new oven, which will help the business increase production and simplify a 24-hour operation. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor, Barry Stewart. Hello.
Hello, Hannah. Yes, some big stories around today, wasn't there? And you've had a couple of them, and of course Chris Fleming, the Chief Executive of the Southern District Health Board, has resigned.
Big announcement this afternoon.
Yeah, indeed. So looking to pursue some business opportunities with family. Back in the Waikato, I understand. Our health reporter, Mike Houlihan, is interviewing him, and we'll have more on that in the paper tomorrow. And of course, the big story, of course, was the discovery and the rescue of, well, I don't know if it was a rescue, but I think it was. The two trampers who were missing for a couple of days, and there was lots of concerns about their welfare. Well, an ODT reporter was travelling along the road and came across those two trampers. They were heading in the right direction, but she gave them a ride to safety. So, pretty cool wee story there.
Absolutely.
And of course, first on the scene. So, look forward to reading about that tomorrow in the paper.
Yes.
COVID, big day in the COVID numbers today in the south. Second highest case day so far. A couple of other points. A quarter of aged residential care facilities have cases. Southland are transferring cases to Dunedin, and of course the primary care is under strain, and that's the whole point, isn't it, of COVID and the consequences. And just to finish on a more tasty note, we have the art of dumpling making. And on our fresh food pages, Annabelle Langbein takes us down that road and tells us all about and offers good recipes on dumplings.
Stunning. Oh, look forward to that and everything else in tomorrow's ODT. Yeah. Barry, thank you to you and your team. And now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a strong and cold southwesterly airstream blows over the southern districts tomorrow with widespread showers and winds, possibly near gale force at times on the south coast. But it's a short-lived cold snap as conditions should ease on Thursday and Friday ahead of a mostly fine weekend. Heading to the top of the South Island, it'll be wet in Nelson with frequent rain, but with a pleasant high of 21 degrees. Greymouth can expect steady rain and 18, and it'll be mostly wet in Christchurch too with a high of 19 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all in for strong southwesterlies, showers and 12-degree highs. Looking average over in the Central Lakes area, Wanaka, Te Anau and Alexandra can all expect gusty southwesterlies, showers and a high of 12. Queenstown will also be soggy and one cooler on 11. To the northern towns now along the coast, Timaru and Awamiru can expect fresh southwesterlies with late showers. Timaru heading for 17 and 14 for Awamiru. It'll be similar inland for Twizel and Omarama with gusty southwesterlies, some rain and high of 14 degrees. In Dunedin, there's more rain on the way tonight with cold southwesterlies freshening, dropping to 13 degrees. Mostly cloudy with showers tomorrow and strong cold southwest winds, a high of 13 and a low of 8. Early showers clearing on Thursday with cloud breaking, enough to catch some sun. Still cold though with fresh gusty southwesterlies up to 12 and down to 6 degrees. And in Invercargill, rain easing to showers tonight and an overnight low of 11. Cold, cloudy and showery tomorrow with some hail. Strong southwesterlies may be near gale force at times in exposed places, but most showers should clear tomorrow night with winds easing to 12 the high and 7 the low. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te po, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear. Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.